Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thanks very much for joining this section here. Now, this section, we are going to introduce the BSc in Data Analytics in Science to you. In this hour, the attendance is guaranteed to be low, so don't worry about the low attendance. It's not a very important thing. Now, the important thing is that you know what you want to do during this section and see if you achieve what you want to achieve by spending an hour here. Well, first of all, just an introduction. I am Prof. I'm Associate Dean of Science and also the Director of the DASC program. And together with us here, we have Cletus. Cletus is the Associate Director for the program. And Tim, another Associate Dean of Science and also involved in the DASC program. I drag him in the water, so he cannot escape. And then Cindy is the administrator for this program. All right, now these are the questions I would imagine if I were you. I spend 1 hour in the afternoon instead of going to sleep. I come here and I ask myself, what do I want to achieve? Well, basically, why is there a data science program in the science school? Don't you find it strange? Why isn't it in the engineering school? Well, the reason is that if it is in the engineering school, then you cannot join. As simple as that, right? So it is to your advantage that there's such a program in the science school, so that you have more choice. Well, but of course, this is just an excuse. There are better reasons, which I'm going to get into. Second question: how is it different? Any one of you have gone to the section on DSCT, Data Science and Technology program? Anyone? Anyone? No? So you're not interested in it? Yeah, that's the trick. It is going to be tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Thursday is not yet held yet. So how can you go there? So just want to test whether you're sleeping or not. It's very similar, right? I mean, both of them are on data science. So what's the difference? I'll tell you the difference in a moment. Has AI, was anyone in the previous section? AI, anyone interested in AI? Well, were you here in the previous section? Well, we just had a section and team talk about it. Well, I think data science, machine learning, AI, these are kind of inseparable from each other. So what's the relation with it? We have plus AI, you know that. And third question, who is it designed for? Well, the important thing is that, is it designed for you? Well, if yes, then it is a good fit. If not, then you better don't consider it. And fourth question, what am I supposed to learn and achieve in this program? Well, you're going to spend 3 years in this program. So you better know what you're supposed to achieve and whether you will achieve it by the end of the program. Okay, a simple introduction. Data analytics. Oh, what's the difference between data science and data analytics? Well, data analytics, we focus more on understanding and prediction. We have a ton of data, and how can we make use of that? And the most important thing is, what can we learn about it from a huge data set? And what's the advantage of learning something from it? Well, the important thing is, of course, to make prediction. Prediction about what? Well, it depends on your field of study. Now, so that comes to the field of study. In the science school, just want to give you an idea. In environmental science, of course, there are tons of data. Now, how do they get the data? From satellite, from station, from wherever. They collect data, huge amount of data. And you can imagine that visualization and graphical analysis, these are extremely important techniques in environmental science. Right? So this, of course, collect a huge set of data. Bioscience, now of course, you have genomes, you have microbiome, and again, tons of data collected from microbiology, from patients, from whatever. Right? And how do we make good use of the data set? Chemistry. Well, how would a particular structure work. Let's say in the case of making drugs. So it's really nobody can understand the mechanism from first principle. So deriving it from a huge data set and making prediction, that's again a very important thing. Information science, of course, in physics and math and all sorts of things, there are tons of data. And how do we make good use of the data? So please give you a rough idea, overview of how important data is in scientific study. Okay, so we have a info twin between data analytics and science. Right. In particular, among these areas in science. Now, how do we combine these two? Well, I say that they're evil twins. That means that they are not separable from each other. Now, the recent development in data analytics actually affects the traditional science education, how they get they are taught and they're trained and make use of data analytics techniques in research. However, that is not the design of this program. This design of this program is that we treat these science subjects as a training ground. And then think about it. If you just want, I only study data analytics, so I need to know how to plot graph, how to do animation, how to mine data, how to whatever. Yes, you have all the techniques. What are they good for? How do you practice them? Right. So the design of this program is to answer this question. How do you practice them? Well, it's very natural to practice them in one of the science subjects. So this is the reason why this program is in the science school, but not in engineering school, because we focus on using scientific areas as a training ground to sharpen your data analytics techniques. It doesn't matter whether in the future you're doing science or not, it doesn't matter. You just need to sharpen your skills. That's it. Okay, so who is it designed for? It's designed for students with science background. I mean, if you want to use science as a training ground, of course, you have to know some basic science. Who want to prepare themselves for a data science job in the industry. It is not necessary for you to think about a scientific career. Right? If you really want, and studying, well, that includes your cohort, you can declare major in, well, next time. Okay. Now, special features of the curriculum. How does it distinguish itself from other data science programs? In particular, our DSCT, the Data Science and Technology Program. Which one should you choose? Right? Now, let me highlight the difference, and you choose yourself. Right? There's no right or wrong. There's only the question of whether the design fits your ability and your interest. Now, the training in this program, we put more emphasis on practical aspect. So we want to practice data science techniques on a available set of data. Now, that's the important thing. As a result, we have to sacrifice certain level of mathematical rigor. So you will see fewer proofs compared to other more rigorous data science programs because proofs are taken for granted. You just assume that they work. Right? Now, why do you question the proof in the first place? Right? Just assume that they work and then you just do it. Right? So the important thing is that when you have a set of data, you know how to use your techniques to make some reasonable presentation and deduction, conclusion, and prediction. That's it. That's the most important thing. It's a lot more important than knowing how to prove some theory and prove how this works and prove that it works and prove that it exists at all. So this is the emphasis of our program. Right? Now, some students may not like it. Some students would like to do very, very difficult proof that nobody except him can do in this universe. That's okay. If you are really concerned about mathematical rigor, then go to DSCT. It's very simple. It's designed for different students. Right? So there's no right or wrong. You choose the one that is most suitable for you. Now, students learn data analytics with the ultimate goal of bringing these techniques to practice in a data-intensive scientific field. Right? So, learn the basic, practice it, and finally, if you are more rigorous inclined, more mathematically inclined, go to data science and technology program, right? So there's a very clear distinction between these two programs. If we just look at the topics we learn in these two programs, you'll find that there are tons of overlap. However, the design is very different. Okay, so make sure you understand the difference and choose the one that is more suitable for you. Okay, now some special features of the curriculum. Well, I've already told you that. Well, I've already told you how to distinguish this program from a more traditional data science program. Now, remember, this is data science in science. So, the second thing I have to follow up is to tell you how it distinguishes from traditional science program. Right? Traditional science program focus more on data collection. While you feel it because you have to do that, right? In laboratories, you collect data, and later you do observations, you collect data. So it's more on data collection. So that is the more traditional science program concerned about. Okay. And now, but in this program, we use the vast available amount of data. You don't go and collect the data. It's already available. You use the available data as a training ground to practice your data and skills that you learned earlier. Right? So learning, practicing, and so that in the future, somebody throws you a set of data, you can automatically do analysis and do a reasonable conclusion and prediction. That's the whole point. That's what we want you to do. Now, if you're really interested in doing, let's say, bioinformatics, data mining in biological data, you really want to do that, you want to be an expert in that, you should pursue a degree in biology, not in DASC. Okay? Because there you will start from the foundation of the science field, and data analytics and data mining and things like that will be just a mathematical tool that you use to help you to carry out your research. Okay. So there are different approaches. Remember, here in this program, we do not train you to be a scientist using data analytic tools, but rather a data analyst in a more general sense, using science subject as a training ground. Okay, not data structure, sorry, program structure. Well, we start with basic data analytic courses. Now, I'll talk about this social analytics in a moment, and then you have to. Now, these are the basic things that you need to know, and then you apply what you learn in one of these four areas. Just one will be enough, right, for graduation. Okay, so these are the courses. They are not important. You just go to the website and everything is listed there. So don't worry. Right? And social science. Right? Now we require you to have two social science courses. One lower level means 2000 level. One upper level means 3000 level. Now, why? You will see why. It is neither data analytics nor science. And why do you need to enter into yet another field, which is social science? You have a good guess? Background information, very good. Right. Now, social science research is data intensive. Right. It is a field where you readily apply your data analytics skills because you have tons of data. Right. And it is of growing importance. So it will be very helpful to your future if you at least know a little bit background about data analytics. Who knows what you're going to do in the future? Right. So broaden yourself and be more conscientious about different fields where you can apply data analytics technique, because once you grasp the fundamental skills, you can claim to be an expert in it. What do you care about proving a theorem or something like that? You can do it. So think about it. You can do it. And whoever give you whatever data, show you a set of data, you can analyze it. So why limit yourself to a particular field? This is the rationale for introducing 2 required courses in social science, in particular in social analytics. Okay, 4 tracks: information science, applied bioscience, molecular science, and cheminformatics, and environmental science. Okay, again, I'm not going to go through these foundation courses. For example, in information science, you think about it, the requirement is even less than a minor in that program. So it is not really meant to give you training in a scientific field, but rather you just learn the minimum in order to apply your techniques. So that's it. So again, life science, and this is not even enough to earn you a minor program, a minor degree in life science. Now, of course, if you want, then you can enrich it a little bit, and then you get a minor in life science. But our requirement, we keep it to a minimum so that not to distract you from the purpose of this program, which is to learn data analytics, that's the main thing, and then practice it in the field. Chemistry again, and OCS. Okay, graduate attributes. What do we expect our graduate to possess? Practical, mathematical, and data analytics skills, right? Well, you don't see the word programming. The programming is embedded there, so it's a bad idea to think that programming is not involved, although it doesn't appear explicitly here. Be able to put them in practice in at least one scientific field and in social science. So that's the graduation requirement. And well equipped to meet future career challenges in the field of data science in any area. I don't know which area you're going into. You may go to OpenRise and do data analysis. You may be able to screen out those false comments. You know, some people put false comments there. Anyway, so there are lots of opportunities in data analytics. Right? And this program, although use science subject as a training ground, but it is not a rigorous scientific program. So meaning that we don't really expect our students to do the stay in science, right? But rather divert into other fields in the society. I think that's the last slide. Yeah, that's the last slide I have. Okay, so I'll stop here today. We welcome any question, and so feel free to pose us questions just in case I forget to talk about something, and or there are some questions in your mind that go beyond my suggested questions, and creators and team can also help to answer your question.